There was no way I was going to pass up fridge facts and theories on Miss Vampire Virgo this month of all months. Happy Halloween, everyone, and welcome to Fridgestuck. Kanaya Maryam was named by Nebelim and Goggles8 on the old MS Paint Adventures forums. Her name comes from the Sanskrit counterpart of Virgo, which is Kanya, and Maryam is from the Arabic name for Mary, as in the Virgin Mary. The meaning of the name Mary is not set in stone, but several connotations exist, including sea of bitterness, rebelliousness, and the wished-for child. Kanaya's Trollian handle is actually very interesting when analyzed. The word grim is pretty straightforward, meaning anything from sternly serious to ferocious to disquietly ironic, but the second half of the handle alludes to her role in Alternian society. The word auxiliatrix in Latin means helpful woman, and jade-blooded trolls have a natural calling towards the caretaking of the mother grub and the rearing of wigglers. It's also been confirmed that the word auxiliatrix in Alternian society is the word for trolls in the jade blood caste, meaning that the word is engendered as female. This makes it a reverse on the rules for languages such as Spanish, where groups made up of both men and women still get the male pronoun. Male Jadebloods have been confirmed to exist, but they make up such a small minority of the caste compared to the females, it seems natural for the group's nomenclature to be this way. And now it is time for a self-referential callback. If you found it odd that Kanaya's makeup-kind weapon transforms into her weaponized chainsaw, then chances are you've never read Andrew Hussey's previous webcomic, Problem Sleuth. Kanaya's strife-kind specibus is based on that of the hysterical dame's choice of weapon from the comic. One of the running jokes from Problem Sleuth is the unacknowledged glitchy inventory system, which is why the tube of lipstick transforms back and forth without any of Kanaya's friends ever mentioning it. Oddly enough, when the first prototype chainsaw was invented by Drs. John Aitken and James Jaffrey between 1783 and 85, it was used as a surgical instrument in the maternity ward for dissections. Yeah, it's even listed in Aitken's Principles of Midwifery or Puerperal Medicine. So Kanaya's use of a chainsaw as one in service to the mother grub just seems logical. Going back to Problem Sleuth, Kanaya's so-called drinker fastness is probably a reference to the fact that Problem Sleuth becomes ridiculously fast when he uses his candy corn vampire abilities. Also, the Twilight vampires display superhuman speed as well. And yes, Kanaya does have connections to the Twilight series, such as sharing zodiac symbols with Bella Swan, though rather than sparkling in the sun like the special vampires from the supernatural teen romance novels, she glows in the dark like a light bulb. Keeping with the theme of vampires, Kanaya's sign is that of Virgo, aka the Virgin, and in various vampire mythologies, it is thought that only virgins can become vampires. Now, Andrew Hussey, the creator of Homestuck, may have a soft spot in his heart for this particular troll, because not only is Hussey born a Virgo in real life, his self-insert poorly cosplays her in Homestuck, and later in the comic shows that he shares her aspect. Space. Let's observe Kanaya's hairstyle for a moment, particularly the bangs on the side of her head. Notice how it compares to the traditional version of a vampire cape. We get it, she's a vampire illusion. But if we take a closer look at her hair's overall shape, it also looks suspiciously like that of the hairstyle of one John Egbert. Funny how Karkat was pushing for John and Rose to end up together, and Rose ends up with the girl with a similar do. Kanaya's blood color is a rare deep green. She is also shown to actively participate in other trolls' ashen quadrants, a quadrant that no other trolls show much interest in, so Kanaya is heavily associated with it. The symbol for the ashen quadrant is that of a club, but for a troll with such a particular blood color, it could also be a shamrock. On a related topic, I just find it so hilarious how Kanaya really wants in on the auspicious game, as not only does it kind of go against the idea of a chaste, innocent virgin, but ironically, the romance she's so obsessed with is also one of the troll romances that does not involve procreation of any kind. Now Porum, on the other hand. Kanaya's ancestor was the Dolorosa, adopted mother of the sufferer and Alternia's version of the Virgin Mary of Nazareth, the mother of Jesus, who lived in the early years of the Common Era. But it's an interesting moment of discovery when you notice the two colors of Kanaya's main outfit are red and green, the colors of Christmas. Continuing with her lineage, it's probably safe to presume that Kanaya's other quote-unquote mother was the pirate Marquise Spinneret Mindfang, which might make Kanaya a product of a mentally abusive relationship, and it makes all of Kanaya's interactions between Vriska really awkward for me. Special note, if Earth's family dynamics existed on Alternia, Kanaya would technically be Karkat's aunt. I personally can see them as family. After all, they have a really close friendship, and with Kanaya as the mama bear and Karkat as the team mom, the two worked well together in the game. This dynamic will serve them well as they focus on raising the next generations of troll kind alongside humanity. Going with our theme of Alternian trolls fulfilling the work of their ancestors, Kanaya is no exception, but unlike Karkat, and fulfilling a pact of peace between himself and the son of a homicidal killer, Kanaya acts as a dispenser of vengeance. Her mother, the Dolorosa, was assassinated by Dulskar, and Kanaya kills Eridan. End of story. Speaking of the Emperor, one of the first times we hear from Eridan, he asks Kanaya to auspice between himself and Vriska. An auspice prevents a feud from boiling over into an especially violent rivalry, so when Vriska and Eridan are about to face off in a duel on the Meteor, Kanaya does technically intervene, with blood and punches. Now let's talk about a connection between Homestuck and probably the most important piece of companionship literature to be released alongside it. Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. Okay, a side note of honesty, I never knew the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff images were clickable while going through Homestuck, so I never ended up reading them. Probably for the best in retrospect. My eyes were already aching and twitching from the marathon reading that I was already doing for Homestuck. Anyway, initially the Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff message of,
"Are you next?"
following Kanaya's death seemed fairly tasteless to a lot of people, given the circumstances. That is, until later updates. Remember why Bro killed Jeff in that comic? Jeff was a vampire. And Kanaya soon turns into a vampire. How soon?
Pretty soon.
Kanaya is one of the only, if not the only, troll that enjoys sunlight. So it's pretty interesting that her main crushes for the comic were Vriska and Rose, both of whom are heroes of light. This may also be related to the fact that her Lucis resembles a moth, most likely the Gremia virgo, or virgin tiger moth, and is therefore highly attracted to the light. Kanaya has been associated with the number 6 throughout Homestuck. Going by blood color and symbol, Kanaya's Virgo sets her as the 6th astrological symbol of all the trolls. She was also the 6th player on the Trolls Scrub Red team. Her Lucis has 6 legs and 6 body segments, and Kanaya has been shown to wear 6 different outfits outside her default clothing. Then there is the phrase, "You are one of the few," which consists of 6 words, and is mentioned a total of 6 times in her introduction. Not only that, but space, Kanaya's aspect, is shown as a spiral composed of 6 distinct arms. What does it mean? But I'm calling it now. If you guys in the comments cry out that she also has 6 letters in her first and last names, think all of the trolls have that in common. One thing that never sat well with me after reading Homestuck through again was that after getting her abdomen blasted through with magic/white science, Kanaya can just walk around. No problem. Eridan shot you through your spine! She even abandons the purple cape around her middle sometime between the 1st and 3rd year on the meteor. How does this bloody Maryam keep her vital organs in place, let alone still stand? Can trolls heal something like that fast? And the last Kanaya fridge fact has to be how much Kanaya is, without a doubt, what the good people over at TV Tropes would call a token minority. Kanaya Maryam is one of the few trolls on Alternia with her particular hue of blood, and even rarer still, one of the few who could have the virgin mother grub as a lucis, an event that is called so uncommon that it's considered a historical event. She also loves sunlight, though nearly all other trolls are shown to be nocturnal by nature. She's also the only one of the 12 trolls who isn't bisexual. Yeah, it's true. Hussy himself outed her out on social media years ago. Do your research. Kanaya is all of the gay. And that's it. Wait, that was the last one? Man, I never even got to make my Steven Universe joke. Thank you guys so much for watching my Fridgestuck video for Miss Kanaya Maryam. I hope you enjoyed. Did I miss any theories? Got any aspect or character from Homestuck you think should get its own episode? Feel free to comment it down below, and it may wind up on the show someday. Leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!
He's a lumberjack, he's okay. He sleeps all night and he works all day. I cut down trees, I skip and jump. I like to press wildflowers. I put on women's clothing and hang around in bars.